name's Mike Hallman, and I'm in South Carolina, USA. I'm 52 years old, and I quit smoking 4 years ago, and went to the doctor. Well, actually ended up in the hospital 3 days later, and I guess I was in pretty serious condition. They had me in the ER for like 14 hours, and I was in the hospital for another 10 days after that, and it was basically kind of a toss-up between my heart and my lungs. They were told me that they were at one point deciding whether they were going to put a stent in one or the other or both. Luckily, I improved enough to where they stabilized me and sent me home. At that time, they loaded me up with, they informed me that I had diabetes, high blood pressure, told me I was in end-stage emphysema, which they didn't really explain. The doctor just used that term. And they also prescribed inhalers, oxygen, CPAP machine, just all this stuff. And at the time, there were probably 11 medications, including prednisone and different. I don't even remember them all. I'm down to a lot less now. But when I got home after that, at first I felt pretty good. I was running around like a madman. I wasn't breathless, so to speak. I was some, but not real bad. But what I found is within 2 weeks, I was devastated. I went from, basically where I couldn't even walk across the room without being breathless to the point where it was like being a fish out of water. My routine was when I got up in the morning, I would just walking from my bed to my desk, I would have to sit down and recover. Same thing when I went to take a shower. Just taking a shower would put me completely out of breath again, where I would be fish out of water breathless. I mean, just 5 minutes to recover. And then after that, getting dressed to go somewhere, that was another breathless thing. And then even walking down the steps to get to the car, again, I would have to sit there and recover for another 5 minutes. So my day was starting out as being completely breathless, 5 or 6 times before I even turned the key in the car to go anywhere. My friends were dropping me off at the front door of places. It was just, my life was just really pretty miserable. And what worried me is I was kept getting worse. So I began doing research because I could see that, what they were prescribing wasn't going to improve me. And, as I researched emphysema, the picture just got bleaker and bleaker. Everything I could find on the net was pretty much emphysema is incurable. It's only going to be progressive, and you're only going to get worse. And it's, I started watching those TV commercials with the motorized wheelchairs, just thinking, God, that's going to be me. And it was awful. And then I found Christopher Drake's site and began working with him. And at first, when I first heard of the Buteyko method, it was, it was something that I really, I didn't understand, and I had zero faith that it was going to help me because, it just seemed backwards logic, breathing less to get more oxygen. But at the same time, I really I'd heard nothing else from anybody saying that there was even a chance of improving. So out of desperation, and because I felt like Christopher was had integrity, and I trust him. There's something about him. So I began practicing Buteyko, and within a week or even less, I was in the shower and noticed that all of a sudden I thought, I'm not breathless, because I was at the point of rinsing off. And normally at that point I would number one, taking a cold shower because I've been in there so long because I've been catching my breath the whole time. So I was sitting there still with steaming hot water, and I wasn't breathless. And so I knew that I had found something worthwhile. And so fast forwarding to now, backing up a little bit, the next time after doing Buteyko, I went to my doc. I go about every 3 months or every 4 months. And when she did, it was a blood work trip. And when I got the results back, my blood work, everything in every department had improved. Not vastly, but, everything. Blood sugar, the whole nine. And I was feeling so much better that I basically, my bad, I started doing less Buteyko. And, the better I felt, the less I, was doing it. I went from being strict about it on myself to not really, doing a pause here, pause there. And what happened was I got right back to being in the shower one day and breathless again. And so I went back to doing the Buteyko, and again I improved. And I was doing this to myself for quite a while. I would get to a certain point and then let myself slide because it was just, the Buteyko exercises, let's face it, they're work, but, and you've got to do them. But it's, the point I want to make here is that with Buteyko, for me at least, even though I would slide back down into breathlessness for not doing it, it wasn't that hard to get it back. All I had to do was get back with the program. And it's taken 3 years to get that through my hard head. But now I am doing the program and getting past that point where I'm, feeling good enough and just maintaining. And at this point, I'm riding a bicycle an hour plus at least every other day. I try to do it every day. And I can do this and pretty much ride nonstop for an hour or two and not once be breathless. And as a result of that, my health is just improving vastly and on all levels. And I know that I wouldn't be able to ride that bike without the Buteyko, and I know that Buteyko is probably the main force behind my improvement. So I'm kind of like starting over now and see if I can grow my pauses, but even further. But at the current level, I'm past what I used to be and feeling better than I ever have. So it's and from the bottom of my heart, Buteyko has saved my life and given me hope and a reason to, where I can watch those commercials of the hover around wheelchair and not be looking at it like it's something that I wish I had.